Hello witches, it's Luca. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to yet another speed build in The Sims 4. In today's speed build, I am continuing work on my save file, and this is the last build for Moonwood Mill. So Moonwood Mill is finally complete. I'm very, very excited to share it with you. I will say I am currently working on the last family, like I'm creating some Sims for this save file as well. But all the builds are complete, so I do have a playlist for all of the speed builds that I've done for this world, and I'll leave a link down below for the save file builds. This is a long one, y'all. Just want to preface this. It's a pretty long one for me because it's a large family home. It consists of several bedrooms, and it's a pretty big family. It is a family of werewolves that I am working on, and oh my goodness, I am so excited to share it with you all. But it is the Miller's farmhouse, and you'll see them in the future. I'm going to give a little tour of Moonwood Mill and show off all the builds and the Sims that I create, but yeah, for now, this is just the speed build. And there is going to be some jumps where you'll see some things being changed and done throughout the course of the build because I had to edit them out because honestly, I'm very indecisive. It's one of those things because guess what, y'all? Guess what? Here's the breakdown. I have ADHD. So I have executive dysfunction, so I'm incredibly indecisive. Like without fail, I am so indecisive beyond any means whatsoever. I'm also a Libra rising. Someone commented that recently in one of my builds. I can't remember when or where, but they said, "Ooh, what is your sign? You seem like a Libra because of all the indecisiveness you say you have." And I'm like, let me tell you, it's a Libra rising, y'all, because your rising sign is actually how people interpret you. So that was very sharp of you, I will say. But yeah, there is a lot of indecisiveness with the like the wallpapers and like what the exterior is going to look like. The shape is done though. That's the shape of the house. I'm in love with the shape of the house. It's such a simple shape, honestly, but I just looked up like a family farmhouse styled home like on Pinterest, and I saw one that honestly, this house here kind of is very reminiscent to a lot of like the nicer houses that you see here in Kentucky. So I was like, I'm going to go with that. I like that. It's simple. Does it fit the area a lot? Maybe not, but at the same time, I think I made it work. Also, this front pathing here, ignore this. I forgot to edit this out, but it's always satisfying seeing terrain paint being done, but I didn't do this correctly because I'm like, why would they like use this as a driveway? Like that doesn't make any sense. So I was like, wait, that don't make sense. I'm going to redo it. So I did that, and I really love the exterior of this house. It did take me quite a while to do because, you know me, I build tiny houses for the most part. That was my thing. That is my thing. But at the same time, I'm really trying to push myself outside of my comfort zone so that I don't get so bored. And yeah, I really, really like this like setup. Like I love how big it is. I love how much space I have. Like I was able to go through and do like a ton of landscaping and decor and stuff without feeling like I was going to run out of space, which was so freeing. And I did have to edit out a few bits and pops here and there again, just because I was being really indecisive with this fencing. And then I found this fencing from the Outdoor Retreat game pack. Oh my goodness, let me tell you, so nice. It fits the vibe here so well. And I love that it looks like it was just like built a long time ago and it's like little logs. Just love it so much. But this is a 40 by 50 lot, I'm pretty sure, which is so outside of my comfort zone. Or is it a 40 by 30? It could be a 40 by 30, honestly, which is still outside of my comfort zone. So the layout of this house was pretty complicated, but you see me here kind of going back and forth with the wallpapers on the exterior. And, I'm very, again, indecisive. I really wanted the vibes of this house to be more on the side of, this is an old house. It's been here for a long time. It was built by, the like the matriarch, the beginning of the family, like several generations ago. I wanted it to be like that old, but at the same time, I didn't want it to look like completely run down and abandoned. Like I was using the fencing here from werewolves to be like the banisters on the porch there, and honestly, I was like, I don't like that. It doesn't make sense to me. I feel like this was a nice house in its heyday, and it's really old now, but they still try to keep it like they take care of it. It's not like perfect because werewolves live here, so werewolves are gonna be werewolfing. But at the end of the day, like it's still gonna have some wear and tear, but it's a nice house, and I wanted to reflect that. So yeah, I made sure to kind of make it look like a good balance of both, if that makes sense. And yeah, I'm jumping around again with some landscaping, and oh my goodness, the landscaping was so fun. I used primarily like stuff from the werewolves pack as well as cottage living. I will say the debug and the live edit stuff from both of those packs are incredible, especially cottage living. Oh my goodness, let me tell you, the cottage living show live edit object, plants, and decor, just absolutely beautiful. I highly recommend getting that pack for just that alone. I do show you a good amount of it here. I do make some edits. Again, like I do kind of cut some of it out because it was a lot, but I used a lot of the tufts of grass that are like really small and scattered, as well as the ones that are kind of like strips along like the edges of the house and pathways and fences. And oh my goodness, it just added the perfect amount of like lived in kind of, they haven't mowed in a little bit, or maybe they just like to let it grow wild. I don't know. It's just, I love adding little details like that because, they're werewolves. There's going to be like, I would say about a week. Is that right? Is that what the moon phases do? Is that true? I don't really know how long a moon phase is. Wow, I just now realized I didn't. But maybe during the full moon, they were just like, we are not doing anything. We cannot do anything because we cannot focus. We are werewolfing ourselves out here. Like we can do some things, but we're just not in the mood to landscape and stuff. So I don't know. And so I did also use a mix of the fencing here. I did the outdoor retreat fencing, but then I also did some of that from the cats and dogs expansion pack. I love this fence. It's so nice because it looks so like beaten down by the wind and wore out. It's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to actually resemble a fence. Oh no, I did change it. Never mind. But well, like I was saying, it was supposed to resemble like a fence that's like been like blown by the sea, like storms and stuff. But I guess I do change it to this fencing here. This is from werewolves though, so it makes more sense, I guess. It has like this texture, and I keep pulling out this one like fence piece. It's not really a fence. It's kind of like a balustrade, or I don't know. It's just like some kind of like posting. I don't really know what you call it, but it's from the high school years pack, and it just has some really beautiful detailing in it. And I really wanted to use that, but I was like, that's a little too nice for this house. I think it's just a little too fancy. I don't think that this house is very fancy. This area here is where they grow their crops. I put the cottage living like things there. I just thought it would be kind of fun because they're werewolves. They need some big meals, and I'm imagining a lot of vegetables is a key for them, or at least, I mean, werewolves are supposed to be, carnivorous and stuff, but they're well balanced in their food. They're omnivores. And that barn there, I actually left empty. I think I do eventually put like something in it. But I kind of like the idea of leaving it empty and then having it be renovated with maybe another sim stays with them or something. I think I have all together. Let's see. I've started the family. They're still in development. It takes me forever to make sims, so I have to make like one at a time. But I have the parents here. I'm not gonna say specifically like what kind of sims there are, like their names and stuff, because I actually don't have them all figured out just yet. But I have the parents, and they're gonna have like 2 teen children. They're gonna have like 3 children, like younger children. So that's 5 kids altogether. So it's 7 of them. And then they're also gonna have their, I think one of the parents, like mother, is gonna live with them, like grandmother or grandfather. That would be cute too. I really don't know which one, but yeah, just in general, it's gonna be 8 sims living here. So it's a big home. There's a lot here to do. I put a chicken coop. I put some clothes lines out the backyard because I thought that was really, I just thought that added to it. I know that laundry in this game can be quite frustrating to say the least. For at least for me, it's not very user friendly, but it's still fun. It's still fun because it just adds that extra bit of realism and detail that just, it really, like, adds to the whole vibe of this house, because this house is supposed to be like, you know, in the countryside, and it's a farmhouse. So, you know, it's going to have those farmy thingies. So, you know, I put a fire pit out here, and I don't know, I just try to make the outdoor space pretty simple. Like it's not simple, but I tried to make it so that it was still a lot of open space. So there was a lot of room to move around. They had just a lot of, you know, just empty space to kind of work with, but kept it simple, because honestly, I feel like that's my issue, because I'm so used to being like a tiny house builder. I will specifically build a tiny house and then cram it full of stuff. And I think that's what I try to do when I build these larger homes. So yeah, I need to kind of like rewire my brain whenever I do these bigger builds, because like if I do the clutter every little nook and cranny, it's going to take me years. So the kitchen here, I love the kitchen. It's a vibe. It took me a couple tries. It took me several tries actually to get this interior started, because I honestly was really unsure what vibe I was going for. It was so difficult to nail, like hit the nail on the head to what vibe I wanted in here. But I found this tiling from the base game, and then I used the Country Kitchen Kit counters. I'm pretty sure I use these, unless I do change them to the ones from the base game. That is a possibility. No, these are the final ones I used. Yeah, these are the final ones I used, because I went through like a couple different kitchen setups because I was really unsure, because honestly, I'm really unhappy with how many counters we have in this game. I need more. I wish that we had some way of changing the countertops separate from the base. If we could do that, oh my gosh, I would be powerful. I would be like, it would be incredible. But unfortunately, we're stuck with what we've got. And yeah, I am not using any custom content in the save file whatsoever. Like, it's pure vanilla. Not a bit of CC is in this save file, so I couldn't use anything else. But oh my goodness, I just need more. I need more. I wanted the kitchen though to be very cozy and inviting. I honestly should have put some more chairs. I just realized I should have put a couple more chairs at the end of the table, because there's 8 Sims that live here, not 6. But I guess I was underestimating how many Sims were living here so far. But yeah, I love this kitchen. I was very indecisive about this table. I will tell you that. It was very hard pinpointing what table I wanted to use. No, I do change the countertops. I'm pretty sure. We'll figure this out together. I'm pretty sure. Oh, here it is. Yep. I was right. I knew. I trusted myself. See, I was like, it looks a little too bright. So I was like, I need to switch it up. And I'm not a huge fan of the industrial look of these countertops, but they kind of worked. And I used that along with like this dark wood like wainscoting, and it honestly balanced everything quite nicely. I feel like it all fit together really well. And yeah, I just love the dark woods with like that light beige tan color, and then those little like touches of green here and there. I love that. I feel like it fits the vibe of the family really well too. And yeah, I don't know, it's really cute, really lovely. I love the wooden countertops too. I feel like that makes more sense to me in my head, because I feel like having something that's like a nice, like rustic, bright color just doesn't fit the atmosphere of of Moonwood Mill very well. Because when I think Moonwood Mill, I think of dark, rustic cabins, rundown old homes that, you know, aren't perfect. They definitely have not been built within a decade. Like, it's been a long time. And so, you know, I wanted to reflect that in this build here. And so I'm working on the living room right now, and I was like, this is just a big room. I don't like how big and spacious it is, so I do eventually cut this off a little bit. I make it a little bit of a smaller room, and I add on a laundry room up front, which I think that's very like reminiscent to my childhood, because I'm only speaking from my own experience here, but being from Kentucky and living in some pretty rundown old homes for the most part, at least growing up in my family home, I lived with my mom, but you know, growing up in my childhood home, we had our utility room is what we called it, but it was basically our laundry room in the very front of the house, and that's what we walked in like through to get to the main part of the house. It was it was an old house. It was like just renovated and such, but the same was with my grandparents' house when I was a kid, they had a house where the front room that you walked into was like, they called it the sun porch is what they called it, but it was basically the same kind of concept. They had their, actually they didn't have their washing machine in there. That's actually something they didn't have. They had a dryer in there. They had like their deep freezer, and they had like, they would keep their shoes and their coats. It was a pretty big room too. It had a lot of windows. It was really nice, but they had their washing machine in their kitchen. I just remember that. But regardless, they had a room that you walked into that you would walk through to get to the main part of the house. And I actually did that in another build that I'm working on currently, which is kind of cool. I like that. I like that little detail because even though that isn't everyone's experience, I really like putting my own little bits of experience from my own life in my builds because it just adds depth, it adds story, and also it makes me more excited because I'm like, oh, hey, that's like a little detail from my own life, and I like that. I do completely forget to furnish this front porch, so you won't see me do it in this video, but I will be doing it off camera after I finish recording because I was like, wait, there is nothing on this front porch. Whoops. So I do have to fix that, but yeah, that was just a funny little thing. It's out of sight, out of mind, you know how I am. It's just that little bit of ADHD coming through. But here I am about to cut off that room here because I was like, this just seems so big and spacious. And like, I like big rooms, but I'm a tiny house builder, so I like smaller rooms so I can focus on one thing at a time. And it just didn't feel right. It was just so big and open in here. And I was like, there's just something missing. I'm like, what am I supposed to put here? Am I supposed to put desks? The flow didn't feel right. Because when I say flow, I mean like when you walk through a room and it just doesn't feel right. It feels like you're about to bump into something, or it just feels awkward. It doesn't feel like natural. So I get rid of this desk and I make it into a lovely little laundry room. I absolutely love how it looks though. It's so cute. It adds so much character, and there's like a lot of clutter in there too. So it's like a dumping room essentially. Like the kids will come home, they'll throw their shoes off, they'll throw their coats down or whatever, and they'll just run through the house. It's just like those little bits of detail that I really love putting into my builds because it adds just character and lived-inness. Is that a word? But yeah, see how much better that looks. It looks so much better, I think. Personally, hopefully my audio is syncing up, but yeah, it's looking cute. I love the washing machine, and I will say I wish we could get new washing machines because these just look like really nice front loaders. These are too fancy. I'm sorry, these are way too fancy. These are the new ones that you get, even if they are kind of old. I don't care. They're still, those look too new because we growing up had a top loader and, very, very, very basic ones. And I still have those. I still have the basic ones in my house and they're kind of new. So, yeah. So I think that we need to get those in The Sims 4. I'm pretty sure there is some custom content out there, but I think the animations are set to be front loading. So, but at the very least, the good part of it is that I can clutter the surfaces of them. So that's pretty cool, I guess. And I think I do remember to put like laundry bins in every single room that they need. But if I did forget, at least it adds some clutter. That's the good thing. And it's adding a little bit of realism because I can imagine the kids maybe forget to put their clothes in their hamper sometimes, so they just leave them on the floor in the bathroom or something like that. That would be such a fun little detail to add. But this first bedroom that I'm working on is for the grandparent. I'm not sure if it's a grandmother or grandfather, but regardless, it is for the grandparent that lives here. They lived here the longest. This is like a multi-generational home, and they took this room, later on in their lives because they're single now, or maybe they were always single. I don't know. Let's add some tea. They were always single. Maybe they had their kids and, they lived here and their, partner, whoever it was, maybe they just decided they didn't want to live the werewolf lifestyle anymore because I feel like I'm adding some lore. Let's add some lore because it applies to a little bit of the story that I have set up for this family. So I want to say that in this universe of my own save file, there is some drama because most people are very okay with werewolves. It's not anything like that, but there is a contention within the werewolf community where there are some people that some werewolves will want to convert. They will want to, not be a werewolf anymore. And it's a contentious little thing because at the end of the day, they were born that way, for the most part, or they'll have churned that way. But a lot of them, some of them don't want to be that anymore, and it's kind of controversial. And so I'm thinking that the grandparent was very to their roots. They are very proud of being a werewolf, and they don't really like the idea of converting themselves, and their partner really wanted to convert because they were tired of it, and so they did, and it caused them to break up. And so the grandparent lived here alone with their kids, and the rest is history, I guess. I don't know, I like it because it's adding a little bit of drama, because one of the kids, which I've started making the family, I just don't have them finished, but one of the teenagers, he is actually very interested in becoming a spellcaster, and he doesn't want to be a werewolf anymore. He's very tired of it. He's annoyed by it. He's just over it, and that adds a lot of tension between him and the grandparent, because the grandparent doesn't want him to change, because the grandparent's like, no, you were born this way, you gotta stay this way. And is that an allegory for being trans? Possibly, but in this case, it's very much so. He wants to become what he wants to become, and they have a rift, and maybe they don't make up, maybe it's always going to be an issue, like maybe the grandparent continue. I need to stop, because that is a lot. That's so real. Oh my God. That is so real. Like, that's weird, but you know what I mean? Like, it is, he has a lot of tension with this grandparent, and his parents are very supportive. But at the same time, I kind of want them to have a little bit of a different opinion, because maybe one parent, because it's two dads. What do you expect from me? It's two dads, and they both are, they're both supportive of their son, but the one dad is like, I'm okay with you converting and like not being a werewolf anymore, but why are you getting into magic? That's very dangerous. And the other one's like, wait, magic isn't dangerous. But then they get into an argument. Oh, I got so much tea. I have so much story I gotta add in. I hope I remember this. I really do. I hope I remember this. I got so distracted that I forgot I was working on another bedroom here. But this is for one of the other teenagers. So this is the oldest teenager. This is the oldest daughter. She's about to go to university, I think. She's like still in high school, but she's like a senior, we'll say. And this is for, actually, I'm just going to tell you her name, because I have her name and I have her vibe picked out already, because she was so easy to come up with. But her name is Poppy, and her name is Poppy Miller. And she is, I think I'm going to have her go to school for art. And maybe she will be a young adult. Maybe I should make her a young adult and make her go to college. That would be kind of fun. I don't really do that a lot in my builds or my families and stuff. So maybe I'll have her go to college, and she's an art major. And she just has a cute little room. It's pretty simple. It doesn't really have a lot of bits and bobs like wise and stuff, but she has everything she needs. Does she have a dresser? I don't think I put in a dresser in this room. We'll just say that she uses the drawers underneath the bed and the nightstand and stuff. I don't know what I was doing here. But yeah, moving on to the next bedroom here. And I do kind of go back and forth to this one, because I found this bed and I was like, this fits the vibe way more for Poppy's bedroom. But this bedroom is actually for the teenage son. And he's a little bit darker. He's a little bit more eclectic. He's a little bit more magical. So you kind of see that kind of come about as time goes on with this little bedroom. And I don't know, I love his character so much. His name is Philip Miller. I love his name so much. And I just made him he wears all black. He's very magical. He has like dangly earrings, and he's that kind of sim. And maybe I was living a little vicariously through him, just a bit, because I feel his vibe, I feel his energy, and I like his energy a lot. I'm hoping that I left this violin, because I'm pretty sure I made him like violin and his likes and dislikes. I do plan on going to through all of the Sims that I make and using MC Command Center to add like skills and maybe some sentiments. Just like I really want to go through and just make it so that there's a lot to work with, so that when you jump into this save file, you can immediately just start playing and see like what the story and what the background of this family. I want it to reflect in these skills and the relationships and all that good stuff. Unlike EA. I'm just going to say it right now, unlike EA, because let me tell you, don't get me started on the BFF household in Willow Creek. Don't get me started. I love them. I love the characters. I love giving them makeovers over and over. You can tell I've done it twice on the channel. But I'm telling you right now, the BFF household is a shame, because the little bio for the family is like, oh, you know, it's a love triangle, and oh, it's like, you know, Summer and Liberty both have a crush on Travis and all that good jazz. But like, come on, they are all acquaintances. There is no romance. There is barely friendship there. They don't know anything about each other, and I'm like, oh, they're just roomies. They just moved in together. They didn't really know each other before this moment. But really quickly, I downloaded a little room here with some like brooms and shovels and stuff that were rotated with the tool mod. I just quickly downloaded that so that I could place it in the garage here, because I needed something in the garage to add to that. But yeah, here is the upstairs. So the upstairs is kind of fun, because I was going to separate it all into separate rooms, but I decided to make it just one big room so that it could be for the kids that live in this house. So the kids get the upstairs. Maybe it's like a tradition in this house, like in the family, the household, that the kids always have the attic upstairs, and then downstairs is where the parents and like the older kids sleep. And so when they get older, they get to have the bedrooms downstairs as well. And this first little section up here is for a more feminine sim. You know, they have, I just went with purple because I was like, I'm just going to pick a color and go with it for this room. And so I just went with purple. And I do imagine a girl. I already have the idea of what I want her to look like in here, but it doesn't have to be a girl, of course. I've stressed that enough. Colors are not gendered. That is ridiculous, but it's still really cute. It's so purple. I just love it. It's just, ooh, that purple, like that carpet there with the bed from Seasons, just a nice combination right there. And then I did add some pinks in as well. I just went with, like some little weaving and like some glasses, some books, some toys. Just I wanted it to be a friendly, like fun kids room. And yeah, and I also gave them their own bathroom, because I was like, you know what, they're gonna have this nice little area, they're also gonna have their own bathroom because they insisted. So it's a very simple bathroom, but it's really cute. And you always need extra bathrooms in The Sims, because let me tell you, I only have one bathroom downstairs, and I'm like, ooh, I have 8 Sims. This is gonna be a little bit much. So I think that maybe possibly if I, like, before I give you all the tour of the full like world and everything, I might add an outhouse or something just to add some character, and add another bathroom, honestly, because they're gonna need it. Just a nice upstairs. And I was gonna cut it off with a wall, but I didn't like that, and so I just used some columns and like that room separator thingy from that's actually from the kids room stuff pack, but there's many in like the base game and all sorts of other packs. And I just went crazy up here. I think that these are the most cluttered areas of the house, to be honest, besides the utility room. I love it. It's just, I love how full they are. And yeah, so this corner, this other side, is actually for 2 twins. I think I'm going to make them twins, possibly, maybe. I don't know. But I wanted them to be really into sports, and I was actually going to try to make them into opposing teams, but I wasn't liking how the flooring looked, and I wasn't liking anything, which I could have kept going with this idea. I really should have, but, I don't know. I wanted to do just one color, so I did red for the whole thing here, and, made them both into, is it Foxberry or is it the other one? I don't remember the names. I really don't remember the names. That's pretty bad. I don't really play The Sims 4, like the university pack, at all, so I don't remember. But yeah, I love it because it's got like a little lobster and it's red and yellow, and I'm gonna reflect that in how they dress, because they're they're very into sports, I think. Like, they're very into sports, like sports and just everything. It's kind of like traditional stereotypes I'm falling on. And, you know, it's fine. It's fine. I just did like a very sporty kind of, you know, loves toys and sports and red. And then the other one's like very feminine and light. I don't know. Maybe I'll be a little bit subversive or something and make it like opposite. I don't know. But yeah, it's still really fun in here, and I love the colors. Like, the rugs look so good. Those are from the bowling night stuff pack, which is really fun. I've never really used that rug in that swatch before, but it just made the most sense here. And I just went red in the color in the catalog there and just went crazy, and I love the outcome. And I just put some posters here and there. The posters from Werewolves are so fun, high school years especially too, but the ones from Werewolves I love the vibes of. Like, whoever did the art for the posters in The Sims 4, amazing art. Love it. 10 out of 10. It's incredible. Yeah, I'm just finishing up with some wallpaper, and then this middle section I do put a bathroom in somewhere, but then I also make it sort of like a common area for the kids. So I put like a couch and a TV. I just wanted to make this more of like an area for all the kids, including the teenagers, to come up and just hang out, because, you know, obviously the living room downstairs is quite small and they have like a little TV in there. The adults aren't all that interested in watching TV, because I feel like they're going to be outside a lot. I feel like I might get them into like taking care of chickens and like taking care of the crops and stuff. And this build was made before the bathroom clutter kit, so I don't really have anything like that in this house yet. But maybe I'll go back and add some. Who knows? But I am going to be using those kits from now on. I know. I'm sorry. I know people are very like here and there about kits. I agree. I'm not a big fan of kits because I miss stuff packs, but the kits are still fun. They're still fun. They're cute. Especially love the bathroom clutter kit. Really nice stuff. Some of it, I stress, some of it is not. But I also love the Sentiments collection. Oh my God, as a gay man, well, I'm not a gay man, I'm a bisexual and non-binary, but I still say that, as a gay person, as a gay masculine person who's into men, the Sentiments collection, 10 out of 10. Okay, it's got Me Undies. It's Me Undies. I love Me Undies. Such a good brand. But no, I love the Sentiments collection. I needed it so badly for all of my male Sims, so badly, and yeah. But this is pretty much the end of this build here. I'm just finishing up with a bit more decor upstairs, but that is pretty much it. You can find this house on the gallery under my username Luca Owens. It is LuccaOwens, as well as the hashtag Luca. And, you know, check the playlist down below to the Moonwood Mill save file speed builds, and keep an eye out for the little tour that I'm going to give for the world. But that is everything. Thank you all so very much for watching. Stay weird, and I will speak to you all next time. Goodbye, my friends.